All right, Rapid Fire Friday. And since we're getting into the fall season, we thought we'd talk a little bit about cooking some wild game
Oh yeah.
and maybe a little bit about what our favorite stuff is. And I'll just let you talk about it first since you are the expert.
Right. Yeah, I'm the expert.
Since that wild that
I've killed
that,
every species known to man.
let me tell you, Jared makes a mean turkey leg jerky.
It'll keep you busy for hours chewing
Oh
on that
yeah,
thing.
yeah, you won't run out of stuff to do.
I mean, man, it's hard to beat a good venison backstrap.
It is.
And
is.
the way I like to cook it is I like to sous vide it for about an hour, and then throw that thing in a hot cast iron skillet, just salt and pepper. Man,
Yeah.
it's hard to
Going,
beat that.
going simple. You can't go wrong with going simple.
Yeah.
I've tried backstrap a lot of different ways to try to get my wife to eat it, and she just won't. Like,
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. I've had to think hard about slapping her around a little
I
bit.
mean, I probably would.
No, she just I don't know. She didn't grow up around hunting and never really. She just doesn't like the flavor of deer meat, I guess, which is strange to me. But I've made it. I've made it a bunch of different ways. Probably my favorite way that is a little. It's not hard by any means, but to butterfly that whole loin, put cream cheese, jalapenos, and onions in it, and then
Man, that sounds
wrap
awesome.
it back up in bacon. Then I'll throw it on the smoker for an hour or two, and then sear it. And it's freaking incredible. Like we got in an argument the last time I made that because I was like, no, seriously, it's better than anything you've ever eaten before. Like you have
Yeah.
to try it. But couldn't get her to even.
Well, I'll tell you what, the
Didn't even
next
get it to
time you
try.
make it, you call me, and I will gladly eat it.
Well, that's the thing. Like I made this whole, and this was off a big doe, so it was a whole loin, and I was like, here, and she wouldn't try it, so I ate like 90% of it in one sitting by myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing. But, I mean, I've eaten, several other species of animal now at this point in my life. And it's just hard to beat a whitetail because they're so accessible.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You
yeah.
can kill several of them in a year. If you run out, your buddies will usually have some, or,
Yeah.
season's not that far around the corner and you can stock your freezer up again. So,
Yeah, it's easy to get. I mean, I love squirrel and rabbit, and I'm just about. I can't think of actually anything I've ever killed that I didn't like. I guess I haven't cooked it a lot, but I don't love bear meat. It's okay.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, it's not one of my favorites.
right. It's kind of like stock trout to me. It's just like
Right.
yeah, it's like
You could eat it,
alright.
but
Yeah,
it's not
I'll-
like your favorite thing.
yeah. So it's like I bet squirrel gravy will always bring back a lot of memories, and it's always
stuff.
good. But yeah, I agree. The
good old backstrap is just
yeah,
it's kind of hard to
even
beat.
I mean just about any part of a deer. I think there's a way you can cook it that's just freaking phenomenal. It's like
Yeah, for
cooking
sure.
those shoulders whole like we did on that
Oh,
one video.
it's awesome.
God
Yeah,
almighty.
and a lot of people. I know people that throw the shoulders away,
I know.
which is awful.
Or
But
the
man,
necks. I mean,
yeah,
the neck.
I mean,
That neck meat, like you can make some serious good slow cooked meals out of some neck meat.
yeah. So if you haven't tried that kind of stuff, man, watch his video on the deer shoulder.
Yeah.
And trust me, I ate that thing, and it was awesome.
It
It's
was.
so good.
Yeah.
So if you don't like a certain part of the deer or whatever, try a few different things. Cook it a couple different ways because there's lots of different things you could do. You don't have to just chop it all up and grind it into
like,
hamburger. So.
When I was like, until just maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I'd grind up the shoulders, I'd grind up the neck, any scraps I'd grind up, and now like I don't grind my necks up anymore at all.
Yeah.
I cook them whole.
Yeah, I
The
try
shoulders
to
I
do,
cook whole, and my grind pile is actually pretty small.
yeah,
It's like
and-
there's very little that
yeah.
I grind.
I'm getting to be the same way. I'll keep as much like whole muscle groups
Yeah.
together as I can and freeze it. That way, when you thaw it out, you can do whatever you want with it. You could grind it, you could cook it in a roast, whatever you want to do. So, and it makes the processing a lot easier.
Yeah,
So,
I mean it's quick. I mean nowadays it only takes me about 45 minutes probably to get one bagged and sealed. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's just separating muscles and throwing it in bags and
Yep.
vacuum sealing it.
super easy.
Yep. So, yeah, I agree. It's hard to beat a good old whitetail, even though I love squirrels and grouse. If grouse were more plentiful, I'd probably eat a lot more of that. But it's hard to beat Mr. Whitetail.
So that's our Rapid Fire Friday.
Yeah, rapid.
Good old whitetail.
We'll see you guys.